I'm Philip Brown of The Ohio State University, where I teach Japanese history. And my current project has taken my work on Japan into a kind of international dimension, looking at Japanese activities in one particular part of Taiwan in the 1920s and 1930s. The project that I'm looking at is the development of a very large-scale water control project in southern Taiwan. It's called in Japanese Kanan Taishin, and in Chinese it's Jianan Dashu. And this opened up some 375,000 acres of land to improved productivity. For Americans, that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a good portion of the size of all of Taiwan. And it radically changed agriculture in that area, not only during the time period that the project was being built, but down to the present day. And that particular project was of interest to me in part because I was interested in looking at the way in which Japan facilitated international technology transfer to Taiwan and other countries. But it's also especially an interesting project because while we think of the period of imperial Japanese control over China, Korea, Taiwan, and other parts of East Asia as being a bad time, in fact, this particular project and Japan's relationship with Taiwan through this project is in many ways celebrated even today. It's not universally admired, but it has become a major focal point of Japan-Taiwanese relations in a very, very positive sense. One of the things that was foremost in my mind was trying to differentiate what in this opposition was unique to the imperial situation and what would have been a part of the same kind of project were it carried out by a domestic government. And in that regard, I've been very hard-pressed so far to find something that's distinctively problematic because of the imperial position. Most of the issues that have come up as complaints also came up, for example, when the American government was building the Tennessee Valley Authority projects and electrifying much of Appalachia in the United States. People complained about the price that they were getting for their land. They complained about the service fees that they were going to get charged. They were complaining about the dislocation and the disruption of the environment. There are many parallels to this, and that in itself has been quite interesting to see. There's been nothing in the way of a roadblock that's at all worth mentioning. This is my expectation was that there would have been problems because I don't speak Chinese. While I can read some Chinese because of my background in Japanese, I can't speak it. And I expected that might cause difficulties, but it just has not been an issue at all. Well, the first is it's an absolutely great place to work. I mean, it's got wonderful support facilities, it's got tremendous resources, and while I'm aware that lots of our graduate students who are interested in studying Chinese history think about going to PRC, I can tell you from having tried to do field work in PRC as well as here, it's much easier to get a hold of more material here than it is elsewhere, and you just shouldn't simply rule out Taiwan as a place to come. For Japanese historians, it's tremendously hospitable. Other thing I would say is that the library staff and the GIS, the Geographic Information Systems people at Academia Sinica and the Institute for Taiwan History have been extraordinarily flexible and very, very supportive. They've just been wonderful people to work with. I can't imagine anything less bureaucratic and more person-to-person than the way they conduct business. And I'm afraid we can't match it back at Ohio State University. I didn't know what to expect when I got here. I'd visited Taipei and visited Taiwan on a couple of other occasions, but visiting and living are two different issues. And this worked out really, really well.